Hi, guys. Welcome to Astrology and Earth Magic. So, I'm Jen, and I am going to be bringing you a little astrological wisdom and a little witchy wisdom because we are going to use the knowledge of the planetary cycles and the gifts the Earth provides to really attain our best lives. So, I hope you join me on this journey and this new little change that the channel is going to go through. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments. But today we are going to focus on the astrology knowledge portion, and we are going to talk about the astrology of April. So we begin the month with Venus still going retrograde, conjuncting the North Node. So makes you wonder, is there somebody that you are destined to be with? Maybe someone from your past or someone from a past life that's going to make kind of a resurgence in this. So think about it because on the 4th, Mercury will also conjunct the North Node, or maybe you will get, that blast from the past text, like, hey, this person's friend requesting me on, whatever social media, or I remember that person, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. But also, these two together will really energize us and stimulate our minds and focus on our life's purpose. Like, what do we really want? What do we really need? And our minds will really just be thinking about it, like rethinking and reassessing what we need to do moving forward and what we really want. Um, Now, we had a lot going on moving up to this point, which is another reason why we kind of revamped things here at the channel. So, we had on Friday, actually going into Saturday, we had the partial solar eclipse in Aries. Of course, we're now in Aries season, starting off the whole new zodiac, and we have Neptune moving into Aries, and that happened this morning here Eastern Standard Time at about 8 a.m. So lots of initiative energy going on this month, lots of changes going on, lots of newness. I think a lot of big new energies. I think it's going to be a very good month for that. So again, we have a lot of North Node energy going on in the beginning of the month with Venus and Mercury both conjuncting, just really focusing on what is our life purpose, what do we really want out of this life, and how are we going to go about getting it. As we move on to the 6th, it will bring a lot of positivity and enthusiasm because the sun will be sextile to Jupiter. So, an abundance of enthusiasm, abundance of positivity, along with Mars trining Venus. So, again, what do we want? We're thinking about that. And then we're starting to reassess things, starting to think about things, people, way we want to invest money, maybe the things that we have, maybe what's important to us. Maybe we're going to give away a lot of stuff and just revamp our lives in general. Feeling great about a new love interest or a financial move. So a lot of positivity, big energy, big thoughts, big actions taking place in the beginning of this month, I think. As the 7th comes along, Venus will then conjunct Saturn. So, and then it will sextile Uranus on the 8th. So, got a lot of Venusian action going on. So, there may have been some setbacks, yes, a learning experience that we need to grow from, that we need to seek advice, maybe if needed. Maybe we had to look to somebody that maybe had a little more wisdom than us. That's that Saturn conjunction. That's getting together with somebody, looking, maybe reading about things, talking to somebody that's been through it, seeking advice again. So, remember, Venus is still going retrograde. So it's again, we're kind of rethinking, we're going back before we're moving forward with things. But the sextile to Uranus will have us dealing with that setback and making the changes necessary for success. So we have these two, we have Saturn and Uranus working together to help us work through these issues so that we can move forward. Um, Mercury then is stationing to take, you know, it will take time and pause a little bit to think, to strategize before he gets moving forward. Mercury will then again conjunct the North Node as moving in forward motion on the 10th, along with Mars trining that North Node on the 11th. So that resurgence of that positive energy and just like, I know what I want and how am I going to go about getting it? And I'm going to get the life I want and make it happen. So that is that energy. It's just, again, we're focusing on that life's mission. Um, so our first lunation then comes along on the 12th, and that is going to be a full moon in the most beautiful, harmonious sign of Libra. Not that I'm biased, I do like Libra a little bit. And on the same day, Venus will station direct. So we have that beauty, that harmony, that full moon, things coming to a head and things coming to a good head. Okay, I'm feeling balanced. I'm feeling good. So we got to work to get there. So we got a little bit of work to put in to really just get our minds settled, use that Venus retrograde, use that Mercury retrograde to get to that point so that you feel that harmony at that time so you can really utilize it to kind of go with Venus as she starts moving direct and starts moving forward. You want to get your mind right, get your heart right so that you can start moving along with her and get rid of all the things that are setting you back. Use that Saturn conjunction to develop, use that Uranus sextile to then, make those changes, in your mind and snap to a reality of how we're going to move forward. And um, let's just get pursuing that life that we want, um, doing well in money and in love, and continuing to improve, just continuing to build on that. So now we're at that peak. So that full moon it gets us to that peak where we're like, okay, so here's what was working and here's how we're going to move forward. What benefits have we attained? What knowledge have we attained? And how are we going to move forward with it? How have you been trying to find harmony in your life? How have you been trying to find that inner peace and balance? And then take with you what is working. And I have really been going to the earth, getting outside. I was outside yesterday for probably about an hour and a half, just looking at plants coming through the ground, picking up different stones that I found, and it was just great. Of course, it was so cold that whole night I felt like crap, but we had the greatest time doing it. And I'm going to start bringing you guys on these journeys with me, and so you can really see how you can utilize the earth again to attain your best life, and to, if you want to use it in spells or just use the stones or however you want to use it, just utilize it, just take in that beauty, really embrace this month that Venusian energy, because there's going to be so much of it going on, and so much of that just appreciating the beauty of the world around you, the world that's springing to life with this, spring. um, so we have movement into the fire signs. So now things start to get a little bit more fiery, a little bit more intense, with Mercury back into Aries on the 16th. So mid-March or mid-April, we start getting a little bit fiery. We start getting a little bit, kind of that fire in our bellies that's kind of like giving us that passion, because we also have Mars back into Leo. So our minds are on fire with ideas. Our passion is standing out. Like, it's really just out there for the world to see, and it is compelling. So get ready for that in the middle of the month, to just really kind of like know what you want. And it's just going to be like sitting there like a beacon, just kind of shining down, like, and our minds are just going to be on fire. So with Mercury, um, Neptune on conjunct Neptune on the 17th, the idea brought back something new from the ether, kind of like, oh, yes. And Mars trining Neptune on the 19th. So we have these planets, our personal planets, working together with the outer planets. for a lot of goodness, a lot more harmony. There's a lot of, like, March has been really intense with all just this, you know, fighting in the world and everything that's going on, and everyone seems so angry. I think a lot of that is going to kind of wane back. I think people are going to start seeing the good in things, and I think that money is going to start looking a little bit better as we get to the middle of the month. So I think that things are going to start settling down. Maybe the stock market's going to start settling down, and things aren't going to be so volatile as they were in March. I think that it's going to be a lot more harmonious of a month once we get through April. So our, with Neptune, with the conjunction with Mercury, with our trine with Mars, with Neptune, our creativity is going to be enhanced. We feel almost kind of like that snake charmer, and just, sensuality and drawing people in, maybe even that certain somebody, because you just have that way. You might feel like something is in the air, maybe a little bit of romance, maybe you just feel just confident, maybe you just, that calm confidence, you're not like that strutting confidence, it's more of just like a calm, subtle confidence. And you'll kind of notice that aura kind of going around, that there is going to kind of be just that brooding, I would say, kind of way about people, that brooding romance. On the 19th, Taurus season begins. We know that sensuality of Taurus. Again, Venus, 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 that Venus ruled sign with the sun ingress going into Taurus. Now we kind of dig our heels in, because now we're getting into the fixed sign. So how can we take, with now everything moving in kind of a forward motion, we have everybody going forward, we have everybody moving ahead, just how do we move forward, and make these things stick? Now, I want this certain lifestyle. How am I going to get this certain lifestyle? How am I going to make this a fixture in my life? And that's kind of what Taurus season is going to bring us a little bit, with all these forward motions. What do we want forever? What do we want to keep forever? What do we want our life to look like? Um, the Venus ruled sign is wanting us financial security, and security in love, of course. And everybody wants that. These are the two, major things in people's lives that you want. You want to find love, and you want to have financial security. So how are we going to use what we've learned to make all of this work? So then we move on, and we welcome Easter the very next day with this, on the 20th. So we have also the sun squaring Mars. So this is one little kind of a hiccup. You may feel like you're just overworked. You may feel exhausted. You may, maybe you're hosting an Easter celebration or an event. You may be on edge, maybe tense. Maybe there'll be tense conversations going on. Maybe you'll feel a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe, you know, people nitpicky, people, trying to, discuss things that you really don't want to discuss. Um, no politics, no religion, at the dinner table. We want to have just nice conversations, because this could add a little bit of a little edginess, a little uncomfortability, I guess. Um, so, or, if you're not doing anything like that, you're just kind of home, maybe there are some personal obstacles that you're still trying to get over. So you want to take a moment just to kind of do that. Because the sun is square Mars, it's going to feel like you're going 100 miles an hour, but you're not really going anywhere. So you kind of want to like rein that in a little bit. On the 23rd, the sun will then square Pluto. So there's control issues popping up. We have so much nice harmony in the beginning of the month, and then things start getting a little bit edgy. You start feeling a certain way. That sun square to Mars, you're, that your sun, that's your energy, that's your ego. Squaring Mars, it's like there's a wrench thrown in there, and like somebody's rubbing you the wrong way. Then on the 23rd, when we have the sun squaring Pluto, You want to be in control, but others are going to be feeling the same way. Control issues, you're going to be butting heads a little bit. Unsurety can cause conflict, of course. This could be inner conflict or conflict with authority. So you could have that where you're fighting with yourself, and it could be even in your dreams. It could be in your subconscious, where you're just like, maybe I don't feel like I'm good enough. Maybe I don't feel like I can do this, because that square is in there, just kind of like, almost trying to take over. Or the conflict could be with an authority figure, maybe a boss, a coworker that is trying to, get that one up, maybe. If you think things are getting a little bit too tense, if you feel like you're being cornered, because you could feel that way, especially if it's in kind of a workplace situation where somebody might be putting you in a corner, somebody might be kind of backing you up in a way. You want to remove yourself from the situation and do it calmly, because the way you handle that conflict can be super beneficial when Venus reconjuncts the North Node on the 24th. So, if as we're moving into with a Venus conjunction with the North Node, this could be partnerships. Again, this could be with money. You could, if it has to do with your work, it could be, that could be kind of the strife, that you're kind of wanting more money. You're wanting more. You're feeling like I deserve more, but your boss might be kind of keeping you down a little bit, might be holding you back a little bit. And that's how you're feeling cornered. You feel like you're put in a box that you can't get out of. You're given things that you can't, like almost like a bar that you could never achieve. This could be also in your relationships, where you're almost vying for control of the relationship, where it's like, oh, well, I want to, be the one that makes this decision, and then they want to be the one that makes this decision, and you could be butting heads there. So you want to know where you're moving for your future, know what you're moving in for your destiny, because we have that North Node conjunction with Venus coming up. So again, handle that conflict properly, calmly, in a mature way, so that it doesn't come back and kind of bite you in the ass, really. And then you can maybe get that destiny that you're aiming for, get that love that you're aiming for, get that raise that you're aiming for, get that, dream job you're aiming for, or whatever it is that you're aiming for. On the same day, the 24th, Venus will conjunct then Saturn. So again, it's how you deal with things, and your maturity, um, that will kind of be the dictator of how this is all going to work out for you. Um, so holding things with grace and wisdom and maturity can get you what you want. Um, there's that saying, you can catch more flies with honey. That you get the things you want when you do things in a nice way, in a sweet way. So you act sweet and you attract it back to you. But if you act brash or aggressive, you're going to get that back too. So you want to kind of express what you want to receive. Um, and again, the way you handle any tough situation can give you the love you want, the raise you want. Who knows? The sky is the limit. This is our destiny. This is our North Node. Um, on the 26th, Mercury completes its post shadow, and that has us thinking, a lot of thinking. Okay, what are our takeaways here? What did we learn from that retrograde? Where are we going to start, developing, moving forward? On the 26th, Mars will be opposite Pluto. And again, as those tensions arise, so Mars and Pluto, it's like that, a tug of war kind of feeling. And like we're not getting the respect we deserve. Again, we might be feeling that. So the month starts off with so much happiness, harmony, positivity, where things are feeling balanced, and then it's like, you got the person at the other end of the seesaw putting bricks on their side, which is holding you up, or holding you down, maybe, where you just feel like I'm out of control and I need to get control of this situation. And that is going to be where kind of some of the difficulties are, because there is going to be that tug of war, because there is going to be those differing of opinions, and those that think they're right and those that think they're in charge, and they're going to be, maybe trying to hold you back. Our passions are going to be high. This is Mars, and this is okay, like opposite Pluto. Like, am I going to transform for the better? Am I going to transform for the worse? What's going to happen? How am I going to rise from the ashes from this? So again, we want to use Saturn. Saturn is not a bad planet. Saturn can be that beneficial planet, because you want to use that maturity. You want to use that, you know, gain that help. Look for that help from somebody that is older, more mature, that's been through it, that has that knowledge that they can pass down to you. Um, because you don't want to come off as overly controlling either. You want to be confident, not controlling. You want to be knowledgeable, again, but not controlling. So if it is something in your work life, if someone comes to you for help, instead of telling them what to do, pretty much kind of just almost be that guide. And because also with Mars opposite Pluto, and with a lot of the Venusian things going on, you could feel a little bit jealous in relationships. You could feel a little bit obsessive in relationships, because you do have that push and pull, because you're like, oh, well, they're acting this way. Why are they acting this way? And you could just start with your mind kind of, and you have that inner wrestling going on with your mind, where you're angry and you're confused and you just don't know. So you want to talk, get that out, because we have the end of that Mercury retrograde post shadow. You want to use your words, use your conversations to get through these things that might be a little bit difficult. Um, the new moon then in Taurus arrives on the 27th. So we're capping off the month, telling us to release that jealousy, telling us to stop the tension and let go, because you need to move on. Okay, so we're getting to that new moon. So we're starting again. What are we starting? Are we going to build on the foundation that we already have? Because in Taurus, we're going to make things concrete. So are we going to have this concrete thing that we've been working on? Are we going to keep building from it? What did we learn from that last lunar cycle? How are we going to build on that? And what are we going to let go of that we don't really want anymore, so that we can? This is a slow trudging. This is not like that Aries just jumping right into things. It's a little slower. Taurus wants to make it last. And jumping into things sometimes isn't always the best thought. That's where we could be getting into a little bit of the problems, because we did jump into a lot of stuff. We had so much Aries going on in the beginning of the month that we could have jumped in both feet without looking, without testing the temperature. And now we're going to slow it down a little bit. Taurus wants to take it slower and be like, okay, you know what? Let's rethink. Let's regroup. How is this going to work? And we're just going to put the work in and trudge and move forward. So again, this can be in love and just life in general. And you want to take with it what you want. This is a great time to get out in nature. Things started sprouting again with Aries season, but now with Taurus, things are really taking root. The roots are really getting down in there deep. You want to go out and appreciate nature, get out there, do some foraging, or really getting into foraging, and finding just anything that you can use medicinally. You can use them in spells and simmer pots. You can use them in teas, lots of different things. So really get out in nature and experience nature and just enjoy it. We end the month with Venus moving back into Aries. So I like this, because it's almost like, I know that Venus in Aries is Venus moving into a sign of her detriment, but it's also, I think it's exciting. It's that scary, exciting kind of, it's just like, I don't know, but I think this is it. And you feel like those like flutters, those heart flutters, I think is a lot of Venus and Aries, is that like that butterflies. And you're just like, I don't know, I don't know. And, it's that, to me, it's that like, you and me, let's make it be. Let's go for it. Let's fall in love. Let's buy that stock. Let's do that. Let's do that scary thing that kind of makes us feel good. Go buy something that is going to, make you look great, and, splurge on something that you've been eyeing with that Venus retrograde, and you're like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Well, you know what? Do it. Do what makes you feel good. Um, Stand out from the crowd and just do you in whatever way you want to do it. So we are going to jumpstart into the spring, y'all. It's going to be, I think, a really beautiful month. I think it might get a little hard at the end, but I think a lot of the tensions that are going on now, especially even today, because today's the 30th, and I know there's a lot of protests and things like that going on. I think that is going to start really winding down, and people are going to be like, kind of just it's like it's getting old almost. And we want to focus on positivity more for April. So I really hope that's the case anyway. So again, I hope you like the new revamping of the channel. We're going to be, I just wanted to kind of change things with the change of the season, with the change of Neptune, especially with Neptune is now going into a trine with my natal Neptune. So just really getting into my mind, into just appreciating the beauty, really just the ethereal and everything that's around. So I really wanted to revamp the channel and get it less about just the focus on astrology, but how we can utilize the changing of the planets and everything that's going on in the earth, putting all the elements together and just growing and achieving our best life. How are we going to get our best lives? We're going to work it, and we're going to just make things happen. And however you want to do it, I'm just going to try and provide some tips and some tools to all y'all to just give you a little boost, give you a little idea of what's coming up, what to expect, and how to plan for it. If you're into witchcraft and things, I think you'll also really enjoy it. We're not going to be doing a lot of spells and stuff, but we're going to be kind of just really, again, appreciating the seasons, appreciating the different spots that are coming up, and just really appreciating the world and all the natural things and not the unnatural things, I guess you could say. So please subscribe. Let me know what you think of the new name, Astrology, and Earth Magic. And I think we are going to have a lot of fun together, you guys. So I will see y'all soon. Now get outside. It's beautiful. Okay, it's not that beautiful, but still get outside. Enjoy it. Bye.